Okay, so pop quiz time. No cheating.
Oh, boy.
Do not look at your phone.
Hmm.
And definitely don't ask ChatGPT for this.
Yeah.
I want you to close your eyes and just picture a tennis court.
Okay, my eyes are closed. I'm picturing it.
You see the Italian superstar Jannik Sinner walking out.
Right?
The crowd is going wild. He's got his gear. He's waving to the fans. Now answer me this. Which brand's bag is he carrying on his shoulder?
That is a very specific visualization exercise.
I try.
And I have to admit, even though I actually watched the highlights of his last match, I am drawing a complete blank.
Nothing.
I mean, I know it was a bag. Obviously, I know it had a logo on it.
Yeah.
But the actual name of the brand, it is completely gone.
Right. And that memory gap you just experienced, that is exactly where we're starting our deep dive today.
It's a painful place to start.
It really is. Because if you are the marketing director who just signed a check for, let's say $5 million to put that logo on that specific bag,
Yep.
and people like us, people who actually watch the sport and pay attention, can't remember it.
You have a very, very serious problem.
Exactly. You are essentially setting money on fire.
You certainly are. And that is the uncomfortable reality of the topic we are tackling today. We're looking at the massive, glittering, and often incredibly expensive world of sports marketing.
It's absolutely unavoidable. Think about it. You cannot watch a game, whether it's the NFL, cricket, tennis, F1, without being totally bombarded.
Oh, yeah, it's everywhere.
Logos on the jerseys, logos on the sideboards, digital overlays painted right onto the field itself.
It feels like every brand on earth is fighting for a tiny piece of that real estate.
They are. But the big question for you, the listener, and the one that frankly keeps CFOs awake at night while the CEOs are high-fiving in the luxury suite, is simply this. Does it actually work?
Right. Is that logo on the jersey actually driving sales?
Or is it just a massive vanity project so the executives can feel cool and hang out with athletes?
The dreaded vanity project accusation.
Yep. Well, to answer that, we are diving deep into a fascinating source today from Avinash. It's titled The Sports Marketing Measurement Playbook.
And I have to say, this isn't just a standard how-to guide.
No, not at all.
Reading through it, it's basically an intervention for marketers.
An intervention, I like that.
It really is. It is a roadmap for moving from guessing that your sponsorship is working, which is where, frankly, most companies live today.
Sadly, yeah.
Moving from guessing to knowing the exact dollar value it brings in.
So Avinash breaks this down into a 5-level maturity model. Think of it kind of like a ladder.
Okay.
At the very bottom, level 5, you're a quote-unquote baby measuring vanity metrics.
And at the top, level 1, you are wise. You are measuring cold, hard cash, and actual causality.
Right. It's a ladder of accountability. And spoiler alert, climbing it is pretty painful.
It requires a lot of math.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely necessary if you want to keep your job in marketing these days.
So our mission today is to climb that ladder with you. We are going to walk through how to stop treating sports marketing like a fun hobby.
Right.
And start treating it like an actual business driver.
Let's get climbing. But before we hit that first rung, we have to establish the context here. Why are brands so obsessed with sports in the first place?
Aside from the free tickets to the VIP box, you mean?
Right, aside from the perks. Why is this sector so attractive compared to, I don't know, just buying a bunch of highly targeted Facebook ads?
Well, the source identifies 3 massive drivers here. First off, sports is really the last shared space we have as a society.
That's a great point.
Whether it's the Super Bowl, the Olympics, the World Cup, these are basically the only places left where huge groups of diverse people gather to watch the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Yeah, that is so true. Because everything else is on demand now. It's fragmented, it's niche. Like, I watch my show on streaming, you watch yours.
Exactly. Sports is the last bastion of quote-unquote everyone look over here right now.
It creates a cultural moment that a banner ad just cannot replicate, no matter how targeted it is.
Not even close. So that's the first thing. The second is frequency.
Okay, frequency.
If you sponsor a team, your logo isn't just up there once. It's there every single game.
Right?
Every highlight reel, every post-game interview, every social media clip. It is a constant, steady visual drumbeat.
And the third driver.
The emotional connection. And this is the really big one. Humans are fanatical about their teams.
Oh, absolutely. People paint their faces, they riot when they lose.
Exactly. The theory, or the hope, really, for marketers is that if a brand associates with the team long enough, some of that love, that sort of halo, transfers over to the brand itself.
Right. The logic is like, I love the San Jose Earthquakes. They are my tribe. Therefore, I must love Cloud Pixel, whoever happens to be on the front of the shirt.
That is the dream. Brands desperately want to hijack that tribal loyalty.
So,
But here is where we hit the first major plot twist of this deep dive.
I love a plot twist.
Avinash reveals this counterintuitive insight derived from 20 years of data. This is essentially the dirty little secret of the sports marketing industry.
Oh, lay it on me. What is the dirty little secret?
The secret to sports marketing having an actual measurable business impact
Yeah.
isn't the sponsorship itself.
Wait, hold on.
It's paid ads.
Let's unpack this for a second. Because you pay millions for the sponsorship rights,
Yeah.
right? To get your name on the stadium or the shirt. And you're saying that is not enough.
Not even close. The source is very firm on this point. You cannot just slap a logo on a jersey and expect sales to spike. That logo is just a license to communicate. You have to amplify that sponsorship with a massive paid media budget.
So the sponsorship just gives you the right to talk to the fans.
Yeah.
But you still have to pay to actually do the talking.
Precisely. There was a specific example in the source that really highlighted the scale of this. The FBR brand.
Yes, the numbers here made my jaw drop when I read it.
This is the reality check everyone needs. FBR spent $14 million on the sports sponsorship deal itself.
Okay, $14 million, that's the rights fee.
Right, a lot of money by any standard. But then they spent $62 million on paid media just to tell people about the sponsorship.
That is absolutely wild. $14 million to get the logo?
Yeah.
And over 4 times that amount just to run ads saying, hey, look, we sponsored this thing.
It sounds crazy, but that is the trap brands fall into. They blow their entire budget on the rights fees, the shiny object.
Right, they get the VIP box and the jersey.
And then they have absolutely nothing left in the bank to activate it. The source puts it so bluntly, if you treat it as a hobby, you just buy the logo. If you treat it as a business, you buy the amplification.
That ratio, though, 4-to-1 on amplification versus rights, that is something every single marketer listening needs to tattoo on their arm.
It really is.
Because buying the rights without the amplification, it sounds like buying a Ferrari and then realizing you have literally no money left for gas.
That is a perfect analogy. And a Ferrari without gas is just a very expensive piece of driveway art.
Exactly. Okay, so keeping that gas money in mind, let's start climbing the maturity ladder.
Let's do it.
We are starting at the very bottom, level 5, the quote-unquote baby years.
Level 5. This is where most companies start, and unfortunately, this is where many of them stay forever.
It's the opening gambit. The metric here is simply, are people talking?
Right. We're talking about things like social media engagement, basic sponsorship recall.
Likes, retweets, that kind of stuff.
Correct. And the dreaded earned media value, or EMV. The source really goes after EMV with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, you need to explain EMV for the listener because agencies love throwing this term around to justify their massive retainers.
Oh, they do. So here is the basic scam of EMV. An agency will sit down with a client and say, look, your logo was visible on the TV screen for a total of 30 seconds during the broadcast.
Okay.
If you had to buy a 30-second TV commercial during this specific game, it would have cost you $200,000.
Right, the cost of a traditional ad slot.
Exactly. Therefore, the agency says, you just earned $200,000 in media value.
Man, that sounds so good in a boardroom presentation, though. We spent $5 million, but look, we made $10 million in earned media.
It sounds fantastic to a CEO, but it's a total vanity metric. It's fake math.
Why is it fake?
Because just because the logo was on screen in the blurry background while a player was tying his shoe,
Right.
doesn't mean anyone actually noticed it, cared about it, or crucially bought anything because of it. It measures cost equivalency, not business value.
Avinash gives this level an impact intelligence score of 1 out of 10.
Harsh, but entirely fair. I mean, it's better than nothing, but barely. It tells you the lights are on, but it doesn't tell you if anyone is actually home.
Okay, so let's grow up a little bit. We move up a rung to level 4, the toddler years.
At level 4, we move from are they talking to do people remember?
So this is where we start seeing metrics like brand lift, consideration, and purchase intent.
Right. Now you're actually doing surveys. You're going out and asking people, did you see this ad?
Yeah.
And more importantly, are you more likely to buy this brand now that you've seen it?
That feels way more useful than just counting seconds that a logo was on a screen.
Yeah.
At least we were talking to actual human beings.
It is definitely more useful. The impact intelligence score bumps up to a 3 out of 10 here.
Okay, 3 out of 10.
But the core limitation remains. These metrics only tell you if the ad was seen and if people claim they might buy.
Right. The keyword is claim.
Exactly. Saying I might buy your product in a survey is very, very different from actually pulling out a credit card and swiping it.
That is so true. It's like, I intend to go to the gym every single day.
Right.
That absolutely does not mean I actually go.
Exactly. You could have sky-high brand recall and zero actual sales growth.
Okay, so we're still kind of playing in the sandbox here. To get to the real stuff, the business driving stuff, we need to hit the teenage years. Level 3.
Level 3 is what the playbook calls the heart and mind influence. Now we are asking a much deeper question.
Which is?
Do people care?
Okay, so this is about long-term brand equity. We're tracking things like salience, differentiation, trust.
Yes. And to explain this properly, the source uses this recurring hypothetical company called CloudPixel.
Right, let's use them.
So imagine CloudPixel is a company that creates enterprise software, B2B stuff, and they decide to sponsor the San Jose Earthquakes soccer team.
Go Quakes. So CloudPixel wants to know if the Quakes fans actually trust their software company more because of this sponsorship.
Exactly. But here is the catch, and it is a massive one. It's the time horizon. Avinash has a strict 5-year rule for sports marketing at this level.
5 years. That seems like a lifetime in the corporate world. Most CMOs don't even last 5 years in their job. Why does it take so long?
You have to think about the environment you're advertising in. Sports is what the source calls a highly distracted environment.
That makes sense.
People are there to watch the game. They are not there to watch your logo. They're looking at the ball, the players, the referee, the scoreboard. Your logo on the sideboard is literally just background noise.
It's so true. I'm not staring at the little patch on a player's shoulder. I'm usually screaming at the TV because of a bad call.
Precisely. You are emotionally invested in the game itself, not the corporate sponsors. So to break through that intense distraction and actually build something like trust or brand differentiation,
Yeah.
it takes immense frequency and duration. You need to be there in front of them for a minimum of 5 years for that halo effect to actually sink in.
So the strategy here isn't looking for a quick win. It's what the source refers to as spike and sustain.
Yes, spike and sustain.
So,
You use quarterly tracking surveys to see if those brand feelings, the trust, and the relevance are trending upward over time.
so it's not just a straight line up to the right.
No, it's a jagged climb. There are ups and downs.
Right.
But if you pull the plug on the sponsorship after year 2 because the board says nothing is happening.
You basically just wasted all your money.
Exactly. You left right before the breakthrough was going to happen.
And what's the impact intelligence score for level 3?
We are up to a 5 out of 10.
Okay, halfway there.
We are measuring real perception changes, which is great. We know the fans like us now. But we still have a problem with causality. We don't know if they're actually buying the software because they like us.
Right. To find out if they're actually buying, we need to leave the feelings behind and get digital.
Now we're talking.
Welcome to level 2, the youth years.
This is where it gets really exciting for the data nerds out there. Level 2 is called the first digital trace. The core question shifts completely from feelings to behavior.
Do people intend to buy?
Exactly.
And the speed of impact changes here too, right? We aren't waiting around for 5 years anymore.
No, absolutely not. Here we can start seeing impact in a matter of months. We are looking for digital footprints.
So how does our hypothetical company, CloudPixel, measure this with the Earthquakes fans?
You use very specific tactics to track web traffic. Things like vanity URLs.
Like having a sign at the stadium that says, visit cloudpixel.com/earthquakes for a special offer.
Exactly. Or you track broader digital traffic patterns in specific regions.
Oh, this brings up that really cool method the source mentioned. Synthetic control groups.
Yes.
That sounds very sci-fi to me. Can you break down how a synthetic control group actually works in practice?
It's actually a brilliant way to fake a rigorous scientific experiment in the real world. Let's say CloudPixel sponsors the team in San Jose.
Sure.
You rigorously monitor the web traffic coming from the San Jose geographic area. Then you find a twin city.
A twin city.
Yeah, a city like maybe Portland. It has similar demographics, a similar population size, similar tech industry, but crucially, Portland does not have the soccer sponsorship.
So Portland acts as the control group. It's like the parallel universe where the CloudPixel sponsorship just doesn't exist.
It nailed it. That's exactly what it is. If your web traffic spikes in San Jose on game day or steadily grows over the season but stays completely flat in Portland,
then you can be reasonably sure that the spike is actually due to the sponsorship. You've isolated the variable.
exactly. It removes all the usual excuses.
Like what?
Like seasonality. You can't just go to the board and say, oh, well, everyone buys enterprise software in October. It's a seasonal bump.
Because if it was just seasonal, they'd be buying it in Portland too.
Correct. But here's the thing that I found really, really interesting in this section. It's not just about tracking the final sale.
Right, the big $1 million contract.
The source talks a lot about tracking micro outcomes.
Micro outcomes. I really like that term. What does that actually cover?
This is a critical concept, especially for a B2B company like CloudPixel. Let's be real, most people don't see a logo at a soccer game, immediately pull out their smartphone, and buy a $50,000 software package.
No, definitely not. That would be an impulse buy of the century.
The buyer journey is incredibly complex. So instead of just waiting for the final sale, you measure the little steps along the way.
So things like downloading a white paper, signing up for a webinar, or just downloading the mobile app, are those the micro outcomes?
Exactly. Those are your micro outcomes. And the playbook suggests you actually assign a hard dollar value to each of those actions.
Wait, how do you put a dollar value on a white paper download? The paper is free.
It's free to the user, yes, but it has immense historical value to the company. You look at your past data. If you know that, historically, 1 out of every 100 people who download that white paper eventually becomes a paying customer.
Okay.
And that customer is worth $10,000. Then you can just work the math backward.
Let me do the math here. So $10,000 divided by 100 downloads. That means one single download is worth $100 to the business.
Exactly. So now you can calculate what Avinash calls a cost per acquisition light, CPA light.
Light being the operative word there.
Yes, it's an estimate, but it gives you a tangible financial number to show the CFO. You can walk into a meeting and say, hey, this soccer sponsorship generated $50,000 worth of micro outcomes this month alone.
It proves the underlying mechanism is actually working.
It does, and that brings our impact intelligence score up to a 7 out of 10. We finally have some real financial linkage. We're getting warmer.
We are. But we still don't have the holy grail of marketing. We don't have pure causality.
Right.
We don't know for a total fact that those specific people wouldn't have downloaded the white paper anyway. Maybe they just really love reading about enterprise software.
Which brings us to the very top of the ladder, level 1, the wise years. Or, as I like to call it, show me the money.
Show me the money. This is the summit. The core question here is strictly, did people buy because of the sponsorship?
Notice the emphasis there. Not just did they buy, but would they have bought anyway if the sponsorship completely didn't exist?
And this is notoriously the hardest thing to prove in all of marketing. Incrementality. Did the ad actually change the future?
It is incredibly difficult, and to do it, you need rigorous experiments. The source outlines a very specific, honestly fascinating experiment for our friends at CloudPixel to prove this once and for all.
Oh, the VIP box experiment. I loved reading this part because it is so beautifully devious. Walk the listeners through how this works.
Okay, picture this. CloudPixel takes 500 of their best leads, people who are interested in the software but haven't actually bought anything yet.
Right.
They split those leads into 2 completely random groups, Group A and Group B. They take 200 of them, Group A, and invite them to the VIP box at PayPal Park for a soccer game.
And we are talking the full luxury treatment here.
Oh, yeah. Wine, catered dining, branded merchandise. Maybe they even get to meet a player after the game.
Man, not a bad Tuesday night. You feel special. You feel heavily wooed by the company.
Exactly. And the other 300 leads, the control group,
What do they get?
they get absolutely nothing. Total silence.
Oh, sad for them. No wine, no soccer.
Very sad for them, but it's fantastic for data science.
Yeah.
Because then over the next few months, you meticulously track the conversion rates of both groups. Let's say 20% of the VIP guests end up closing a deal,
Okay, 20%.
but only 5% of the uninvited group ends up buying.
Okay, so we have 20% versus 5%.
That difference, that exact 15% gap, is your incremental lift.
Wow.
You can point directly to that 15% and tell your CFO, the sports hospitality program caused these specific sales. We wouldn't have them otherwise. You have completely eliminated luck.
That is causality.
That is pure causality.
That is so powerful. But it makes me wonder, what if you are a massive mass market brand like Coke or Nike?
Right.
You can't invite 1 million potential customers to a luxury box to test if they buy your running shoes.
No, that would be a very crowded box. It doesn't scale. For the big consumer players, you have to use something called marketing mix modeling.
Oh, right. We've touched on MMM before in some of our other deep dives. It's basically the heavy lifting of data science.
It really is. It involves using advanced AI and heavy statistical models to look at literally all your sales data over years.
And what's the goal?
The goal is to isolate the impact of the sponsorship from everything else happening in the world. Seasonality, price changes, competitor activity, even the weather.
It's like trying to untangle a giant chaotic knot of yarn just to find the one single string that represents the sports sponsorship.
Exactly. And the result you get isn't just a simple yes or no. It gives you a highly specific return on investment metric. The source gives a great example. Your MMM output might tell you that for every $1 spent on the sponsorship and the paid media amplification, you got $3.50 back in direct revenue.
Boom. That is the exact number you take to the board meeting. $1 in, $3.50 out, drop the mic.
It is.
Uh-oh.
But, and there's always a but when we reach level 1. The expert in me has to point out one more crucial metric here.
Bring it on.
It's not just about effectiveness. It's not just about making money. It is about efficiency. We have to talk about customer acquisition costs.
Okay, this is essentially the comparison shopper logic, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can buy this exact same shirt here for $20 or over at that store for $50.
Right. Because even if the sports sponsorship works, even if you are getting that $3.50 back, it might actually be way too expensive compared to your other marketing channels.
Give us the example from the playbook on this.
Okay, so maybe your data shows that for every single customer you acquire through standard TV ads, it costs the company $250. That is your CAC for TV.
$250, got it.
But for every customer you acquire through the sports marketing initiative, the math shows it costs you $1,800.
Oof. $1,800. That is a massive difference.
It is. So even if the sports marketing undeniably drives sales, it might actually be bad business.
Because you are paying a massive premium just to acquire those specific customers. Just because it drives a sale doesn't mean it's an efficient use of capital.
Precisely. And this data allows the CFO to look at that $1,800 cost and make a rational decision. Is it actually worth renewing this sports sponsorship? Or should we just take all that money and buy a ton more TV ads at $250 a pop?
And that level of clarity, that is exactly why this level gets a perfect 10 out of 10 impact intelligence score. It's not just about proving it works. It's about deciding if it's worth it. It's ultimate decision readiness.
It is. At level 1, you aren't guessing anymore. You are knowing. And in business, knowing is quite literally everything.
So we have climbed the entire ladder. That was quite a workout. Let's do a very quick recap for everyone listening, because honestly, that was a lot of metrics to digest in a short time.
Let's break it down one last time.
Level 5, the baby. Are they talking? You focus on social buzz and EMV. Very low value.
Level 4, the toddler. Do they remember? Focus on recall surveys and brand lift. Better, but it's not sales.
Then we hit the teen years. Level 3, do they care? That's your brand equity, the Cloud Pixel example, and that grueling 5-year timeline.
Level 2, the youth. Do they intend to buy? That's your micro outcomes, your synthetic control groups, and your CPA light.
And finally, the summit. Level 1, the whys. Did they actually buy? Pure causality, incremental lift, and cold, hard cash.
That is the playbook in a nutshell.
Now, here's the reality check for everyone. If I'm a marketing director listening to this right now, and I suddenly realize, oh no, I'm stuck down at level 5.
Yeah.
Can I just decide tomorrow to jump straight up to level 1?
Absolutely not. And Avinash is very, very clear on this point in the source. You cannot cheat the process.
Why not?
You have to build the organizational muscle first. You can't just jump to advanced data science if you haven't mastered the basics.
Right. You can't run a marathon if you haven't even learned how to walk yet.
Exactly. You start at level 5 to tweak your actual creative. You need to make sure people can actually see the logo on the tennis bag in the first place.
True.
Then you grow to level 3 to confirm you're actually building a brand advantage over time. And only then, finally, do you leap to level 1 to prove the revenue.
Because if you try to calculate incremental lift, but nobody even recognizes your brand name yet, you're literally just measuring noise.
Correct. It's a journey, not a shortcut.
So bringing it all together, what does this all mean for the listener today? What is the big takeaway here?
It means the days of the quote-unquote, trust me, it's working defense are completely over.
Long gone.
Sports marketing has historically been this magical black box where a ton of money goes in and somehow magic happens on the field. But Faninish is saying loud and clear that sports marketing is just as accountable as digital ads or email marketing.
The tools are there now. The methodology is
There
there.
are no excuses left.
I really love the provocative thought the source leaves us with at the end.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a challenge to the listener, specifically the ones who might be hiding behind those vanity metrics right now.
It is a serious challenge. The point is this. If you aren't measuring at level 1,
Yeah.
if you aren't actively looking for causality, then maybe you should try to keep your sponsorship a secret from your CFO for as long as humanly possible.
Oh, man. Because once they start digging and see the lack of data or that sky-high customer acquisition cost, the game is totally over.
Exactly. The message is, stop sponsoring in the dark. Turn the lights on.
I love that.
If the lights reveal that the sponsorship isn't actually working, then fix it or kill it. But do not hide in the dark anymore.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up today's deep dive. Whether you're a global brand manager trying to figure out your budget or just someone wondering why that logo is plastered on that tennis bag.
Right.
And seriously, I still need to go look up which brand center carries.
Me too.
But I hope you will never look at a sports game the exact same way again.
You'll be too busy calculating the customer acquisition cost of the energy drink on the sideline.
Exactly. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today. For you listeners out there, as you watch the next big game, ask yourself, if that team vanished tomorrow, would you still buy the sponsor's product? Think about it. We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Stay curious.